This morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Post Youth, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Talent Esports. It is Dark. And this morning, in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go, we have our ZBT. Dark versus ByuN. They've been rivals for many, many years at this point. It's crazy to think that it's been so long since they've faced off in, of course, their own respective world finals many, many years ago. And they still do face off quite often here in these online events, even offline events as well. And who do we favor? I mean, I think I'd give the slight edge to Dark, especially with ByuN's playstyle. I do want to give Dark the edge, but we'll see. I'm going to be shocked if it's a 3-0. In either direction, it should not be a 3-0. We should be seeing a back and forth instead. We should be seeing a more dynamic series, but we'll see. For now, Hatch Gaspel, standard opener out of Dark. Likewise, it's going to be a CC first from ByuN. CC first is usually reserved for some of these more defendable maps like Post Youth, for example, sometimes on Alkione as well, just because you can cut corners and be greedy, and you most likely won't be punished. Most likely. There we go, we do have our setup. With this, it could just be a CC first into a third CC before even factory or before even second racks. I'm curious how greedy ByuN wants to be. We used to see a lot of greed on Gressvan. I mean, Gressvan was more of the extreme just because of how defendable it was on 3 bases because of the pocket third. It was just a wild map. It was it was nonsense. Nonsense, Bobby, nonsense. Thankfully, we're done with Gressvan. I mean, it always made for a lot of fun games, to be fair. It was always a lot of fun. As we are settling in. And yeah, we're going for the factory after that racks. Not going for a Gigapass third. Meanwhile, Dark back at home, happily just droning up and nodding over towards the rich gold minerals. Being as efficient as possible and going for his own third base. So a very standard opener here by Dark. Likewise, a bit of a greedier opener here out of ByuN. And we should be seeing a third CC before starport. Keep an eye on this SUV. There we go. Third CC has been thrown down. So again, just greedy start into an economic follow-up. We're just kind of cutting corners early on and getting all the way into the mid. We're just rushing towards the mid game here, essentially, from both players. Bearing in mind as well, there are goal bases that you can take advantage of as well. So wouldn't be surprised if Dark does try to take the gold as his fourth. And that's going to be the point of contention here in the coming minutes. Is whether Dark can establish a fourth base. If he gets across the map, dancing with the Lings, will threaten the creep tumor. Threaten it, but not much more. Meanwhile, back at home, we have our 1-1-1. Tekla about to finish up. Do we go for the add-on swap? That's the question. Do we go Banshee? The answer is no. We don't go for the add-on swap. We have a Viking first from ByuN to shut down the Overlord, working towards Stim. It'll be a more bio-heavy composition. We will prioritize Stim instead. It is risky just because Dark is known to embrace roaches. I mean, he still has the option. Still has the option to go for roach play as well, which can catch a Terran player off guard, but there is no roach warden yet, so any kind of earlier roach timing we are missing, so no real need for the Banshees. Overlord gets caught out. We do have the double E-base. This I like, actually. Cheeky move here out of ByuN. Remember, he went Viking first, and he did start Stim, and he canceled Stim. He canceled Stim, went for the add-on swap, rushing into Cloak Banshee. Now, what is terrifying about what's happening is that Dark has no reason to throw down Spores. No Spore here in the mineral line. We will throw down Spores to defend against Liberators, and there it is. We have a Spore on the edge of the natural. We should be seeing a Spore at the edge of the third. There we go. They're in position for Libs. They're not in position for Banshees. They're in position for Libs and for Viking defense as well. So really cheeky move here by ByuN. Very cheeky. We'll see if he gets away with it. It is a little bit inefficient by ByuN because he will have delayed add-ons and delayed upgrades and delayed tech. But we'll see if it's worth it. See if it's worth it as he's landing his third base, transitioning into a 5-rack setup. Has very little on the ground to defend. But will it deny that Link Scouts? Gold base is being taken. A Dark double expanding, going for the 4th and the 5th base at the same time. Joining up very heavily, embracing Ling Bane. And there's a lot of pressure on ByuN, and a lot of pressure on these Banshees to get damage done, as the Banshees are moving out. Do zoom across the map. We'll see what we can get done. Likewise, it's going to be a bit of a double-pronged attack here. We have Banshees in the sky, we have Hellions on the ground. These Banshees, they make their way over. They are spotted by Dark. Spores repositioning, quick moves here out of Dark. But that does create an opening for the Hellions. These Banshees are zoned away. So far, Dark, he keeps up. Getting a quick repositioning. The Queens likewise rotate over. And so far, this Banshee opener has not done any damage. Uh-oh. And no damage so far. Dark, he gets away with double expanding with his 4th and his 5th and the gold. And what's scary here, right now the supplies are similar. Dark has been droning. He's been doing nothing but droning. He's on 81 workers plus a gold base. His economy is about to boom out of control. And his supply is about to skyrocket. It's about to skyrocket here. With mass Ling Bane Hydra production. Hellions, they do dive into the mineral line. They get 2 drones. Only 2 workers. The Queens, they hold the line. Plus transfuse to keep the Queens alive as well. No detection. 1 Queen goes down. But Dark holds. Dark holds. He's been so greedy here, droning up so heavily. We have a 6th hatchery on the way. And now we can focus on purely army production. On purely Ling Bane Hydra. ByuN is moving out. Stim is done alongside 1-1. This is a 1-1 timing for ByuN. Bailing Waddle by at the same time, but we do react in time. Quick moves out of ByuN. Does pull away. Does a pull away. Same time, Dark getting across the map. Gets 3 SCVs, not much more. So good defense out of ByuN. And now he's committed. He's moving out with his 1-1 timing, with now tanks, Hellbats as well. But remember, this entire time, Dark has been building up more and more Ling Bane. He does evacuate that gold base. Gold base is evacuated. Dark catching reinforcements, at least trying to. Doesn't quite pull it off. So far, a nice spread here by ByuN. Dark, he's collapsing in. Yeah, tanks, they're late to siege. We collapsed on top of some of this bio, but it looks like the hatchery is going to go down. Hatchery falls, but Dark, he can just rotate over towards his fresh 6th base. ByuN is gaining ground. And she's pushing towards the 7th. Towards that fringe hatchery. Bane rolling forward once again, but it's going to be a rough engagement there out of Dark. Yeah, has to back off. This choke point is brutal. Yeah, the ramp plus a choke point. Dark cannot engage. Fringe base should be going down. Dark splitting up. Bearing in mind, Dark does not have a hive, so no Vipers, just purely Ling Bane Hydra, just Lair Tech. It's going to be a tough hold. As ByuN is gaining more ground. We're just waiting to pull the trigger. 2 tanks behind this. Only 2. But the movement here is solid. And we're coming in for the surround. And we come in from behind. We collapse on top of the tanks and we clean up the army. The tanks fall and ByuN has to back the hell off. And we can keep pushing. We can't keep pushing. We catch another tank. And Dark, he's not going to stop. He's not going to slow down. The final tank will fall. Bailey's a roll in towards the mineral line. SCVs are going down. They cannot pull away. Not this time. And the mineral line will fall. Nice spread here with the bio army. ByuN does hold, but he loses 16 workers in the process. And as a reminder, no 4th CC. No 4th base. ByuN is going 3 base all in. I didn't notice, but that is 8 racks is done for ByuN. So it's an 8 racks 3 base all in. ByuN has no follow-up. He has no further tech behind this. It's all or nothing for ByuN. And now Dark, he has the Visage Pit. He has the pit. He can work towards Hive Tech. And really patient play here out of Dark. He does collapse over the tank once again. And all Dark has to do is just kill the tanks, snipe the tanks, and just remax. Remax, rebuild. The pressure's on ByuN, not on Dark. And Dark, he saves the fringe base. He saves the hatchery. Takes the gold. Dark, he's looking solid, and ByuN, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. Remember, ByuN, he was completely all in. ByuN had no follow-up. Going for a double drop. We are in position. The drop is deflected. Now, ByuN still has a pretty terrifying army. Like, the size of his army is quite comparable to that of Dark. But we catch reinforcements. Tank goes down. Marines as well. We're going for the mineral line. ByuN, what you see is what you get, and we're just collapsing on the army. Nice spread of Marines. Marines break through, but the tank fell. And now we can clean up what little is left. GG gets called, and Dark will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Dark does take a lead here. ByuN pulling off the 8 racks, and ByuN was getting damage done. Remember, he killed the gold, but really, really cool, calm, and collected play there out of Dark to be able to slowly, you know, dip in whatever he could, just never fully engage with the main army until he had the surround, until he had that massive flank. And with that, Dark, he collapsed on ByuN's army, cleaned him up before the reinforcements arrived. And that was game then and there. Once the army got cleaned up, there was just nothing left for ByuN. Dark was able to counterattack, cripple the economy, and deny the all-in. And with that, we're jumping into game number 2. Here we go. Here we go, as we are going to be settling in. Settling into that second game. Game 2 going to be on ByuN. Let's go. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ByuN, we have our South Korean Zerg player. The Red Zerg representing Talon Esports. Leading the series 1-0, but it's a best of 5. Plenty more games ahead of us. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, going for a 2x Reaper opener, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Okay, ByuN opening up with a more aggressive start. Going for the initial Raxes. Hello. Hello, Mr. ByuN. Gonna be skirting around the edge here with that SCV, but it's still opening up with the Raxes back at home, going for an SCV scout. And the way this works here with our abundance of Reapers, the goal is to... Oh my god, we're going for 1 proxied. Okay, I was curious what the SCV was doing. So it's 2 racks Reaper, but one of them is proxied, so it's going to be that much more aggressive. This could even lead into 3 racks Reaper. I'm curious if we commit to a 3rd Rax as well. For now, Reapers are going to be amassing, and the goal here is to not just deny the 3rd, because the proxy, our goal is to get economic damage done. So get some worker damage, catch a queen as well. Overlord does not quite confirm. Yeah, barely the Rax is out of range. Dark doesn't get eyes on the proxy, fanning out both of his overlords. Like, Dark is playing safe, he's looking for proxies, but does not come across it, doesn't find it. And will rotate back. Behind this, just Hatchcast Pool, standard opener out of Dark. Here's going to be a standard opener. Now we're settling in. Are going to be settling in. Reapers are amassing. I'm curious whether at what point we cut Reaper production. Whether we go up to 3, 4, up to 5, even more than that. That's what I'm curious about. As the first wave of Reapers have arrived. They will deny the third. And we're going for the gas geyser last week. Oh god, the jukes! Very nicely done. Dark with a bit of a fake out there does manage to catch the gas geyser. Very nicely done. Gas is taken. At the same time, Reapers, they dive into the natural, trading with the Lings. Dark is in position, is buying time, and ooh, does he get the first Reaper? Reaper, it's so low! Oh my god. The Reaper is so dangerously low. As the drone is killed. And Dark expands elsewhere, takes the triangular third base. We have 3 Reapers, we have a 4th Reaper on the way. Okay, just 4 Reapers. Now we're transitioning back at home, we're expanding, going for the factory. These Reapers, their goal here is to deny the third, but Dark, he slipped through. The third base is getting up and running, as I say that, getting very low. Can we force a cancel? Looks like we can. Yeah, and we're not going to be able to hold on. There's the cancel on the hatchery. Nicely done. And that's been the goal. That was the goal here for ByuN. Deny the third. Deny the third base. Ideally we wanted a little bit more damage. We wanted a drone or 2. We did get 1, I guess. With that, ByuN does back off. And back at home, we're working towards our stim timing. There we go. We have the 3rd CC on the way in the main. And settling into our 2-1-1. So ByuN is going to be working towards a sim timing with medevacs. Hellions are on the way for map control. Reapers race back home to get out of range of link speed. Be safe against the Lings. And we're calming things down. And as we get into the mid game, I want to give the edge to ByuN just because there is no third base. Damage was done. A Dark was denied. And now we can settle in. As ByuN's being quite greedy, not just going for the third base, but going for double E base. Rushing into 1-1. Stim, of course, is on the way. There are those 1-1 upgrades. So there's going to be a really big timing on the horizon here with not just these upgrades, but also with medevacs and Stim. Going to be a very strong timing here for ByuN that we are building up towards. And we'll see if Dark can recover. But now he's main hunting over, saturating his third. It may even be worth double expanding at this point, but the Reaper Hellion will deny that. ByuN just making sure that there is no expansion, no 4th base, I mean. As the Dark is contained. There's that starport on the way, ready for an add-on swap. More Hellions are amassing. This should be leading to a Hellbat push, and yeah, there we go. Armory's on the way. That's going to be for 2-2 and Hellbats. So there's even that much more to worry about when it comes to the timing. Hellbat's going to come into play as well. 6 of them. And it's going to be brutal. It is going to be a brutal timing. Dark attempts to expand. ByuN, ooh, he will deny it though. Yeah, the drone is found. We shut down the expansion. Dark going to be mining on the right hand side. We'll take the linear 4th instead. The 4th base is much more defendable. Upgrades are finishing. Medevacs are on the way. Oh boy, and here comes that push we were talking about. So we've been building up towards this moment. All the upgrades are lined up. And what do we have to defend? We have 15 Lings. We have how many Queens? 9 Queens. Okay, we do have a wave of Lings coming out just in time. But here come those Hellbats. They're going to be morphing in. Yeah, brutal push here. No Banelings, just purely Ling Queen to defend. It's going to be a tight hold for Dark. But that's a lot of Queens. Lings, they're coming from behind, but they're going to be denied. A nice movement there with the Hellbats. Lings, they melt, and we're getting on top of the Queens. They're falling one after the other, and ByuN, he has too much. He's snowballing out of control, shuts out every single Queen. GG gets called, and ByuN ties up the series 1-1. GG. Again, a very brutal timing that we were building up towards from the beginning with those 1-1 upgrades, with Hellbats, with Stim, and Dark just could not keep up. If Dark had gone for an earlier Baneling Nest or a Roach Warren, then that's a different story, but Dark was relying on purely Ling Queen And clearly that was not enough to keep up with that timing of ByuN. I don't blame Dark. Again, Dark was being greedy. He was cutting corners. He was delaying tech because of how behind he was, because he lost the third, and because his fourth was delayed as well. So there was a lot of pressure on Dark to be greedy, which is why that timing hit so hard as well. The Bailey Nest was in production, but it was too late. It was too late there for Dark. Dark, he didn't realize that crisp timing that was coming across the map. He wasn't able to scout, wasn't able to confirm. And just like that, we're tied up 1-1. We are going to game 3. Diving into game number 3 here. It's a best of 5, still plenty more games ahead of us. Plenty more to come as we're loading into Dynasty. Here we go, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Dynasty, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. Again, Dynasty is often vetoed. It's a very often vetoed map in the map pool. But in the best of 5, we get to embrace some of these maps like Dynasty as well. Now, very often Zerg players will expand at the standard natural base. They avoid the gold, which is why this map is Terran favored. ByuN can freely take the gold base, Dark cannot. So ByuN will have an economic advantage. Because of that, typically in ZVTs, Zerg players go into Roaches and they go for a Roach all-in. Roach all-ins are very common on this map to punish this gold base. How you punish it, you cannot punish it with Ling Bane because of the mineral wall, of course, but you can punish it with Roach Ravager. With range-based units, Roaches and Ravagers, they can deny mining here, which is why Roach play is so common on this map. Likewise, because Terrans start with range-based units like Hellions and Marines, we can't take the gold ourselves. So Dark, he has to take the linear third base instead. He can take the gold as a fourth. We can expand here on the right-hand side and take it as a fourth base instead in a longer game, if we get there. If we do get there. For now, that was a CC first. A very greedy build by ByuN, going CC first into a delayed Rax. So the greed of ByuN is real. And we'll see where this takes us. See where this does take us. Stark is going to be joining up. Just a hatch gas pool opener here by Dark. ByuN, I'm curious if we go for a third CC or if we end up going for additional Raxes. There we go, to have our factory on the way. A standard opener here. Now, what I love about this opener by ByuN is that because of the Rax being thrown down further back, it forces the Overlord to go in further towards the main. The Overlord is now exposed, and it's racing towards the pillar. Will it get here in time? Oh, wait, no, we're good. Sorry, for some reason I thought it was Marine first. The Overlord will get back in time. Not Marine first, going for the Reaper. Reaper moving out to scout. There is no wall off, so Lings will slip in. Meanwhile, third CC on the high ground. Reaper does check. Reaper confirms no gold base. And this is a bit of a give and take. On the one hand, the production is safe. The production is not exposed at the wall, so if there was a Roach all-in, then we'll be able to defend and keep our production going. But Lings do slip in, and we do deny, and we do delay, sorry, the third base. Third base is delayed. We get one SCV kill. Not bad. Getting a second. Second SCV goes down as well. Third SCV. Oh my, this is getting out of hand. Fourth SCV. Oh my god. 5. Ay. 5 workers go down. That is a brutal amount of damage. Even though ByuN goes for a CC first, even though he has the gold minerals, that does help recover. That does help even things up in favor of Dark. Whew, okay. Gets 5 workers behind this Dark, taking a third base. And we spoke about Roaches earlier. There it is. Roach Warden has been thrown down. Again, we very rarely see Ling Bane in ZVT on Dynasty. Ling Bane just isn't as viable, so Roach play is more or less required. Not always, but more often than not. More often than not, we do have that Roach play. Behind this, ByuN getting into his 3CC into Banshee. 3CC Banshee here from our Terran player. Checking the vision, Dark, what did we see? We confirmed the 1-1-1. We didn't quite confirm the add-on swap. So we're a little bit in the dark, but I do like this Banshee play. Because Roach openers are so commonplace on this map, Banshees are just the ideal way to open up to shut down Roach aggression and to maintain map control to get into a longer game. Again, Roaches don't shoot up. Meanwhile, Dark is not droning. Okay, there we go. Dark, we've got some workers on the way. We're moving out with Roaches initially, but we're not going for the all-in. Dark is droning up, saturating his bases. He's applying some pressure here, but just pressure. Yeah, the Banshee is revealed, and the Roaches, they back off. Meanwhile, we get one Roach harassing. It does distract the Banshee. It does create an opening. Let's go. So one Roach does deny mining time. The rest of the Roaches move out on the right-hand side. Banshee is distracted, is dragged away, pulled out of position. Can we break through? Alas, we have Hellions to defend, and we're okay. The Roaches are deflected. Banshee protects the mineral line. And Dark, thankfully, has been joining up. Thankfully, we have workers on the way. Gas is being taken. Lair about to finish up as well. There's that fourth that we spoke about. You can take the goal base as a fourth instead. And we are settling in. Whew. So we've kind of survived the early game. We're embracing the mid game now. ByuN building up towards Stim. Getting into 1-1 upgrades. And now the Banshees can move out. As they move out, that one Roach dips back in. That one Roach waddles back in. Denying mining time here at the gold. To deny mining. We deny mining for a moment, but the Roach is cleaned up. Behind this, Hydra on the way, so it's going to be Roach, Hydra into Lurker. Okay. So Dark looking to head towards Lurker tech. We're getting there. And my Hellions, they do dip in. They threaten the gold. Merely only threaten, though. Dark does defend. Third base, rotating over. Hellion's going to be shut down. So far, so good. ByuN just threatening those creep tumors, nothing more. And the Hive is on the way. With the arrival of the Hive, we should be throwing down a Lurker Den momentarily. Should be seeing the Lurker Den soon. As ByuN can now be active with his drop play. 1-1 finishing up. Unfortunately, not enough room in the medevacs. Two Marines. No, they got left behind. The Marines. Unfortunately, left behind. We drop over the wall, though. Deny mining at the gold. Catching Overlords. Nicely done. Do get one Overlord. We ensure that there's no mining whatsoever at the gold base. Even focusing down the Hydras. We get one, we get two, we get all four. Hi, oh my god. Massive pickoffs. Hydras go down. Medevacs will escape just barely. And with the completion of the Hive, we're going into Viper tech. No Lurker Den yet. It's going to be Roach, Hydra, Viper. Vipers are a nice way to, of course, support the army with those blinding clouds. But this is a bit of a Heart of the Swarm composition. It's not too efficient. It's not ideal. We'll see how it works for Dark. As ByuN is applying pressure, rotating across towards the gold, sending everything over. His tanks, his Marines, his Hellbats even as well. And the Vipers need more time. They're out there gathering energy as we speak. Tanks are sieging up. We're coming in for a flank. Files will connect, and we get one, we get two tanks. Very nice surround. And Dark will shut down this push completely. Again, this was just an awkward angle of attack. We were exposed here towards the left-hand side. The creep was solid. And Dark holds. Dark does hold. ByuN forced back, now taking a fourth base. Throwing down a second factory. Building up towards a longer game. And now we have Vipers. And with the help of the Vipers, we can get even more done. Those bases from the other game, they're still alive. I forgot about them. We got 5 drones, not bad. Ooh, almost a 6. 5 workers go down. Dark rotating over. Lightning Cloud on the first tank. And we barely have any tanks left. We yoink the final tank. It's going to go down. Both of them. We catch both tanks. We shut down the factory. Factory is denied. And boys are being pulled. ByuN in a moment of desperation, trying to hold on. We'll take down some Hydras, but Darky's snowballing out of control. He breaks through the main army, getting on top of the 4th base. It's an orbital, not a planetary. A little bit too greedy there by ByuN. The base is going to be shut down. That's going to be a kill on the 4th. And Darky is breaking through, going for the plows once again. A tank goes down. GG gets called, and Dark will take a 2-1 lead in this series. GG. A very brutal Viper timing there because of the Hive, because of the Vipers. After the initial defense, after the initial hold, remember, ByuN lost 3 tanks. He lost 3 tanks in his move out, and that meant that he was that much more vulnerable to a ground-based attack. Afterwards, there were 2 tanks remaining. Vipers came in, they yoinked both tanks. There was nothing left. Without tanks as a backbone to ByuN's army, he could not defend against the wave of Roach Hydra. GG. GG, well played. A very crisp move there by Dark. And now Dark is 1 game away from taking the series. Let's go. Again, a really rare game on Dynasty just because we rarely get to see it, and to see not just Roach play. I was getting ready for like a Roach Ravager all-in, but no, went for Roach Hydra instead. Roach Hydra into Viper. Again, a much more unorthodox style from Dark, but again, very adept, or very much so tailored to the map, to Dynasty. What I'm getting at is we probably won't see that again. we probably won't see Roach Hydra Viper again in this series. But we did appreciate it. Did appreciate it nonetheless. And here we go. We're getting into our next map, into Oceanborn, potentially the final game of the series. Here we go. So we are settling in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Talon Esports, leading the series 2-1, 1 game away from becoming this week's champion. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, down in this series. He has to fight back here and now to force that ace match. It is ByuN. Going for another 2x Reaper. Okay, now, to be fair, 2x Reaper is how ByuN was able to take a game earlier on Alkione. If you remember, it was 2x Reaper. To be fair, one of them was proxied. If you recall, one of the Raxes was proxied. We were able to deny the 3rd base and snowball into a 1-1 timing into a win. We'll see how much more success ByuN has this time with no proxied Raxes. Just straight up 2x Reaper back at home. Here we go. Back at home, meanwhile, Dark going for gas first. Oh my god, my apologies. It did slip my mind. I just assumed it was going to be a standard opener, but no, Dark is rushing into the gas. It's going to be a gas pool opener here out of Dark, rushing into link speed. This could be the beginnings of a Bane bust. This could be a Roach rush. Aggression is on the table, though. Aggression is on the horizon for Dark with a delayed hatchery. Let's go. Let us go. Now, this build of Dark is ideally designed to shut down the Reapers and snowball into a Bane bust. This is actually an opener that we've seen from Ragnarok. Oh, sorry, Ragnarok. Shin. My apologies. From Shin from time to time, especially in the previous map pool. We saw this a lot out of Shin against 2x Reaper. For now, though, Dark is unaware of the build until now. Dark now does confirm, does spot the 2 Raxes, and we're going for a Roach Warren, not a Baneling Nest. Okay. So it's going to be a Link Flood into Roaches. And we'll see if ByuN can confirm and respond. Now, if ByuN can get eyes on this Roach one, we should be seeing Tech Labs and a bunker. Tech Labs and a bunker from Marauder Production. And we have seen ByuN shut down these kind of builds before with 2x Reaper. He just has to confirm. Ooh, and ByuN is denied. Now, ByuN does confirm the the hatchery's late. Does confirm the hatchery is delayed. So he knows that there's an early pool, at least. He knows that. There we go. Tech Labs are in production. He knows. ByuN, he does catch wind of this. Do you have our Tech Lab, our reactor as well? I mean, I say that he has his first 3 Reapers. There we go. Bunkers on the way, as you mentioned. He's getting ready for the all-in. Getting ready for the roaches. So the bunker's getting ready. Ooh, no Marauder yet. That is concerning. No Marauders for ByuN. Now he confirms. Now he gets eyes on the roaches. There we go. Immediately, Immortal's on the way. He cancels the Marine, starts up the Immortal, concussive shell. That was such a quick reaction out of ByuN. So fast. He's slowing down the army, slowing down the roaches. Ideally, he has to pre-pull some SCVs to repair the bunker. And workers are main-arted down. Roaches moving out across the map. Going to be delayed by those Reapers. First Marauders in the bunker. We have the 1 SCV to repair. And Dark is committed. Dark, he hasn't droned. 19 drones, that's all he has. It's all or nothing for Dark. Ravagers are morphing in. ByuN trying to find the army. Does confirm the Ravager. I'm a little bit concerned about the lack of SCVs. Just the one. Just the one bunker as well. Didn't go for the second bunker. And here we go. Dark, he does commit. Lings, they flood on forward. They collapse on top of the Marines. ByuN will connect. And the bunker is going to go down. Yeah, the bunker does fall. This is looking dire here for ByuN. He's kiting back. Lings, they collapsing on top of the main army. We shut everything down again. No second bunker, no repair. And Dark, he's done it. He's broken through. We deny Stim. Stim is denied. We're knocking down the front door as well. Flooding more Lings across. The 1 Reaper survives, but only 1 Reaper. Boys are being pulled. But it looks like it's just too much. Too much to handle. There is a second Marauder. Is a second Marauder. But so many workers are falling. And we do morph in another Ravager just in time. The Marine count is getting higher, but the Lings, they're flooding in. Yeah, we're flooding into the main base, flooding into the natural. There is no wall. Files, oh, they connect, they shut down the Marauder. GG gets called, and Dark will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion. GG. GG, well played. It looks like ByuN wasn't aware how committed it was. It looked like ByuN, he was prepared for like a Roach Ravager like pressure, but he wasn't ready for the Lings. He wasn't ready for the committed all-in. That's why ByuN was a little bit lax there in the response. We've seen ByuN shut down these builds before, but he didn't confirm that Lings were also moving out across the map. He didn't know how all-in Dark was. And because of that, ByuN was caught with his pants down. They were down, papi. The pants were down. He was exposed. He was caught off guard, and Dark will take the win. GG, well played. Congratulations, Dark is going to be our champion this week. My condolences to ByuN. He had a great run, don't get me wrong. He had a great performance, making it this far into the finals. He was able to bring down, of course, Shameless earlier in the semis, and bring down many other players on the road to the finals. So good performance here by ByuN, but barely doesn't quite make it here. Doesn't force the ace match either. Made a series out of it though. I'm happy to say that we had a back and forth finals, a back and forth best of 5. Would have loved to have seen an ace match, but I'm happy with a game 4. Content with a game 4 here. GG, well played. And with that, that is going to be wrapping up our broadcast for the day. And not just a shout out to Dark and ByuN, a shout out to Geralt. A special shout out to Geralt because he was able to shut down Trap. Like, he was able to bring the series to the ace match and bring down Trappable players in the quarterfinals. That was the biggest upset of the tournament. Biggest upset. I missed the series myself. I would have loved to have casted it. But yeah, for Geralt to bring Trap down, Trap was poised to make a finals run, to be honest. Like, if there was ever anyone to stop Dark from making it to the finals, it would have been Trap. Trap was denied. Trap was denied in the quarterfinals by Geralt. So massive upset there from the Polish Protoss player, and GG. GG, well played. It does bode well for Geralt moving on in these upcoming weeks and upcoming months of StarCraft, so best of luck to Geralt. Otherwise, we are done for the morning. I say the morning, I mentioned earlier in the day that we do have a second broadcast coming up. It's going to be in 6.5 hours. In 6.5 hours, we're going to be live with WTL, with World Team League Day 2 of Round 8. If you're curious, oh no, Enki! No, El Hermoso. Enki, the Spanish caster, he just arrived. It's over. Enki. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. He's like, guys, are we ready for the finals? No, we just finished. Smooch. Much love to Enki, of course, Spanish caster. He arrived a little bit too late to catch the tail end of the tournament. But what I was referring to, usually WTL is over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the scheduled time slot for WTL, for World Team League. But on Saturday, we were busy with Cheesadelphia. We were otherwise preoccupied with Cheesadelphia instead, so we weren't able to broadcast WTL. Not just that, but the stars aligned and no English coverage was actually held on Saturday for WTL. Wardy was otherwise preoccupied, Rotterdam was unavailable, Steadfast, like all the other typical English broadcasters weren't there either, so no one casted Day 2 live. No one casted Day 2 of WTL in English, at least. It was casted in other languages, thankfully, in Korean, in Chinese, in French as well, but it wasn't casted in English, so we're going to be going over those replays in 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours time. We will be going over the WTL replays. Actually, just double checking the calendar here. Yeah, we're good. Just double checking the calendar. And I was just trying to figure out when we're going to cast viewer replays. For those that are curious, we have been accumulating viewer submitted replays in the chat. You do have a point redemption. You can redeem your points to make me cast your replays, regardless of what happened, how fast or how short it is. So we will have a viewer replay cast over the weekend. I'm just quickly checking our schedule, and we have a free day, or we have a free afternoon on Saturday. So after KSL, we will be all over those viewer replays. So if you're interested, if you want to tune into some more chill StarCraft and not as serious and just some ladder games essentially that were submitted, we'll be doing that after KSL on Saturday. That is the plan. Is the current plan. Otherwise, we are done for the time being. Again, our next broadcast is going to be in 6.5 hours. Other than that, we'll be back tomorrow as well. Tomorrow in less than 24 hours with the Code for Giants Cup number 7. That is going to be a Brazilian-only tournament from Brazil. Fala galera, papi. Fala galera. We'll be jumping on some Brazilian StarCraft tomorrow, around this time, or much earlier, around the start time of ESL Americas. For those that are curious, so early in the morning, we'll be covering you. We'll be jumping on that Code for Giants Cup. Likewise, tomorrow is also going to be Kung Fu Cup and also OSC King of the Hill. 3 events tomorrow. 3 events back to back, papi. Oh my god, a lot of StarCraft here on the CranKy Ducklings, as always, always live with some kind of StarCraft. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back in 6 hours. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back the day after and the day after that as well. Every single day we have plenty of StarCraft available. Meanwhile, Duckling Open is an event that also occurred over the weekend. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cast it live. We didn't cover Duckling Open live, but we do have it scheduled for a replay cast on Saturday. After KSL, after the viewer replays, we will have Duckling Open, our Bronze to Diamond tournament. So if you want some Bronze to Diamond StarCraft, we got you covered on Saturday as well. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Of course, payouts. Got you. Of course, payouts are going to be paid out in the chat. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings if you want to follow us and be notified of when we go live. Otherwise, you can support us on Patreon. You can see just under ByuN's name, our Patreon goal is set up to help boost the prize pool of our weekly tournaments. Again, we do host events, like I just mentioned, Duckling Open, Master Swan Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup as well. These are Diamond events, Masters events, and Open events that we do host on a weekly basis, or on a regular basis, I should say. And yeah, we try to provide as much as we can for the players out there and host events for players and bring everyone together. And if you want to help grow our events, Patreon is the place to do it, to help boost the prize pool and pay out even more players. That is the plan. That is the goal. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We will see you guys next time for our next broadcast for WTL. Till then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.